They say humans know more about the surface of the moon than the oceans. Well, let's break it down why they say so. The oceans cover over 70% of the Earth's surface. We've explored 5%, and the remaining 95% remains a pure mystery. Now, it's normal to feel that you know nothing, but what if we told you the ocean has been hiding things that shouldn't exist? From creatures that don't belong in reality to treasures worth trillions, the unseen world of ocean is a graveyard of lost history and unexplained mysteries. In today's video, we'll be diving deep into the ocean's unseen world to uncover 15 shocking things found below the waves. And trust us, once you see what's lurking beneath, you'll never look at the ocean the same way again. Number 15. Amelia Earhart's plane. For decades, Amelia Earhart's disappearance has been one of the biggest mysteries in aviation history. She wasn't just any pilot, she was the pilot, setting records, breaking barriers, and making history look easy. But in 1937, while trying to fly around the world, she vanished over the Pacific, and the world has been scratching its nose ever since. Luckily, then in January 2024, a deep-sea exploration team, Deep Sea Vision, claims they've got sonar images of what could be Earhart's missing Lockheed 10E Electra sitting eerily at the bottom of the ocean. If true, this is a game changer. Decades of wild theories, from crash landings to government conspiracies to alien abduction, might finally be put to rest. But of course, nothing is confirmed yet. Until then, we're left wondering, did Amelia's journey finally reach its end, or is the ocean just playing tricks on us again? Number 14. The Baltic Sea Anomaly. In 2011, a group of treasure hunters known as Ocean X came across something bizarre sitting at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. A massive disc-shaped object that, let's be real, looks a lot like a crashed UFO. It even has a weird drag mark behind it, as if it skidded across the seafloor before coming to a stop. Internet conspiracy dudes lost their minds, saying it was an alien ship, a sunken Nazi base, or some kind of top-secret war machine. But scientists, being the buzzkills they are, say it's probably just an oddly shaped rock formation. Sure, because totally normal rocks always look like Millennium Falcon knockoffs, right? Despite all the expert opinions, no one has fully explained its origins, and since funding for deep-sea exploration isn't exactly falling from the sky, the Baltic Sea anomaly remains one of the ocean's weirdest unsolved mysteries. Number 13. Pyramids off Cuba's coast. Deep beneath Cuba's waters, researchers have found what looks suspiciously like an ancient, sunken city. Giant stone structures, smooth geometric shapes, and even what appear to be pyramids, arranged in a way that makes it hard to believe this is just a coincidence. It's almost as if an entire civilization got swallowed by the ocean and erased from history. Paulina Zalitsky, the lead researcher on the project, admitted, "It was as though we should not be seeing what we were seeing." Which, let's be honest, is exactly what someone says right before they uncover something history wasn't ready for. Some believe it could be the remnants of an ancient advanced society, maybe even the legendary Atlantis. Others say it's nothing more than a quirky natural rock formation. We hate these guys, but until we get more details, and wishfully some underwater excavation, the debate continues. Lost city or just Mother Nature showing off again? Number 12. Underwater waterfalls. Think Angel Falls in Venezuela is the tallest waterfall in the world? Well, you need a software update. We're not saying you're wrong, just a little outdated. There's a much bigger waterfall out there, but good luck trying to see it. The Denmark Strait Cataract, an absolute monster of a waterfall, plunges a staggering 11,500 feet down between Greenland and Iceland. That's 10 times taller than Niagara Falls, but don't start packing your bags. It's completely underwater. Now, how does an underwater waterfall even exist? It's not magic, though it might as well be. It's all about density. Ice-cold, heavy water from the Arctic slams into warmer, lighter water, creating an invisible, unstoppable cascade that moves 175 million cubic feet per second. That's enough to refill Lake Erie every single day. And before you ask, no, humans can't see it. The crushing depths will handle any daredevils. But if you still want a glimpse, head to Mauritius, where an optical illusion near Le Morne mimics the sight. No scuba gear or death wish required. Number 11. Port Royal. If you think Pirates of the Caribbean is wild, wait until you hear about the real, wickedest city on Earth. Welcome to Port Royal, Jamaica, the original sin city for pirates, smugglers, and every kind of scallywag who didn't care for rules. In the late 1600s, this was the place to be if you had rum to drink, gold to spend, and laws to break. That is, until 1692, when Mother Nature decided the party was over. A devastating earthquake sent 2/3 of the city plunging into the sea, dragging homes, taverns, and more than a few unlucky souls straight to the ocean floor. Fires and hurricanes took care of the rest. Fast forward to the 1950s, and underwater archaeologists discovered the remains of this perfectly preserved pirate paradise, now resting beneath the waves like a Caribbean Atlantis. Among the eerie finds, a cobbler's shop, a butchery, and, you guessed it, a tavern, all frozen in time. Some call it the Pompeii of the New World. Well, this is something new. Number 10. The ancient city of Alexandria. You know a city has legendary status when even time tries to erase it, and fails. The ancient city of Alexandria, once ruled by Egypt's most iconic pharaoh, Cleopatra, didn't just fade into history, it literally sank beneath the waves. Blame earthquakes, tidal waves, or maybe just bad luck. But 1,600 years ago, much of this great metropolis vanished under the Mediterranean. For centuries, it was nothing more than a ghost story, until 1998, when divers rediscovered its eerily intact ruins resting beneath the sea. Now, archaeologists have big plans, an underwater museum. That's right. Soon you might be able to walk through Alexandria's sunken streets via high-tech tunnels, making it the first submerged museum in the world. If that actually happens, it'll be the closest thing we have to time travel, only instead of a DeLorean, you get a wetsuit. Until then, Cleopatra's lost city remains one of the ocean's most stunning hidden treasures. Number 9. Sea monsters. The ocean is terrifying, and not just because it's deep, dark, and home to things that can eat you, though that should be enough. Thanks to modern diving tech, we've explored deeper than ever, and honestly, we probably shouldn't have. Because what we've found down there is straight out of a Hellboy movie. Let's start with the blobfish, the unfortunate-looking deep-sea dweller that resembles a melting wax figure. Then there's the vampire squid, which sounds like a rejected Marvel villain but is very real, with glowing red eyes and webbed tentacles. Or the anglerfish, that nightmare-inducing monster with a glowing lure on its head, perfect for tricking prey and haunting your dreams. And that's just the tip of the nightmare iceberg. Meet the frilled shark, a prehistoric horror with over 300 needle-like teeth. The goblin shark, which looks like it's mid-mutation. And of course, the sarcastic fringehead, a fish that aggressively expands its mouth like it's about to insult your entire existence. And somewhere out there, the kraken, Loch Ness's cousin, and other deep-sea creatures we haven't even discovered yet. Sleep tight. Number 8. RMS Republic. Sunken ships are a dime a dozen in the ocean, but sunken treasure? That's where things get interesting. The RMS Republic, which went down in 1909 off the coast of Nantucket, wasn't just any ship. It was rumored to be carrying an absolute fortune when it sank. And by fortune, we mean potentially up to $1 billion worth of gold. Some believe she was transporting at least $250,000 in American gold coins. Others say the number was more like $3 million, meant as a loan to the Imperial Russian government. Adjusted for inflation? That's treasure hunting motivation at its finest. The wreck was first located in 1981, and despite multiple attempts to find the loot, no one struck gold, yet. Enter Martin Byerl, the modern-day treasure hunter behind billion-dollar wreck, who's teamed up with his son Grant for another go. If they pull it off, it'll be the biggest deep-sea treasure haul in history. If not, well, at least they'll have a great story. Number 7. Locomotive Graveyard. The ocean has claimed its fair share of ships, but trains? That's a new one. Off the coast of New Jersey, sitting eerily on the seafloor, lies a locomotive graveyard, 2 massive trains from the 1850s, perfectly preserved in their rusted glory. The weirdest part? No one knows how they got there. Historians have 2 theories. Either they fell off a barge in rough seas, which is one hell of an oops moment, or they were deliberately dumped to lighten a sinking ship. Either way, there are 0 records of these locomotives ever being built, making them a ghost story of the industrial era. Today, these iron giants rest peacefully on the ocean floor, covered in marine life and serving as an eerie yet fascinating dive site. A cemetery for trains? Sure, why not? New Jersey always keeps things interesting. Number 6. Lake Michigan's Stonehenge. Not everything weird lurks in the ocean. Sometimes lakes like to get in on the action. In 2007, researchers scanning the bottom of Lake Michigan stumbled upon something straight out of an ancient history book. A mysterious stone circle arranged like England's iconic Stonehenge. Because apparently, even prehistoric civilizations had a thing for dramatic architecture. The mystery only deepens from there. How old is it? No one knows. Who built it? No idea. Why? Your guess is as good as ours. But one of the stones is said to have an ancient carving of a mastodon, an animal extinct for over 10,000 years. If that's legit, it would mean these stones predate most known civilizations in North America. Until further research is done, Lake Michigan's Stonehenge remains one of the strangest underwater discoveries. A prehistoric enigma sitting just 40 feet beneath the surface. Number 5. The Emerald Treasure. Finding treasure at the bottom of the ocean is the ultimate dream. For Jay Miskovich, it was reality, until it turned into a nightmare. In 2010, this amateur treasure hunter hit what seemed like the mother lode off the coast of Key West, Florida. More than 10,000 emeralds glittering beneath the waves. Estimated to be worth $500 million, it was the kind of find that made people quit their jobs and buy yachts. Except, fate had other plans. The U.S. government granted Miskovich only temporary ownership, meaning he couldn't legally sell a single gem. Cue lawsuits, debts, and media frenzy. Broke and unable to profit from his discovery, Miskovich tragically took his own life in 2013. The treasure remains in limbo, locked in legal battles with no clear owner. $1 billion fortune just sitting there, untouchable. Sometimes the ocean gives, but it rarely lets go. Number 4. The Mummified Sailor. In 2016, a fishing boat near the Philippines made a scary find, a yacht drifting aimlessly in the open sea. Inside, slumped over his desk, was Manfred Fritz Bajorat, a German sailor who had spent years solo sailing across the world. The problem? He wasn't sailing anymore. He was mummified. Bajorat had died of a heart attack, but thanks to the brutal heat, dry ocean winds, and salty air, his body had naturally preserved itself, turning him into a real-life ghost captain. His last log entry suggested he had only been dead for about a week, but his body looked like it had been at sea for years. It was one of those rare moments where the ocean took someone but didn't return them to the depths. A lonely fate, but fitting for a man whose life belonged to the sea. Number 3. The Ourang Medan. Some ghost ships have legends. The Ourang Medan has horror. In 1948, this Dutch freighter was found drifting near the Marshall Islands with its entire crew dead, their eyes wide open, mouths frozen in terror, and no visible injuries. The only survivor found barely alive claimed something not of this world had attacked them. Moments later, he died. Rescuers barely had time to investigate before the ship mysteriously caught fire and exploded, sinking before any real answers could be found. Poisonous gas? Supernatural forces? A secret government experiment gone horribly wrong? No one knows. The Ourang Medan remains one of the ocean's most chilling mysteries, a ship swallowed by the sea before it could reveal its dark secrets. Number 2. The Golden Orb. The ocean is already full of things we don't understand, but in 2023, it outdid itself. While mapping deep-water habitats near Alaska, NOAA scientists stumbled upon a gold-colored orb, because sure, why not add a little sci-fi horror to deep-sea exploration? The mysterious object, about 4 inches wide, was stuck to a rock 2 miles beneath the surface. Scientists expected something normal, maybe a sponge, coral, or even an egg. But then they noticed a tiny hole in it, like something had either gone inside or come out. Naturally, they suctioned it up, because who wouldn't bring a potential alien egg back to the lab? Biological in origin, but unlike anything known, the orb has left researchers scratching their heads. Is it an undiscovered species? A deep-sea creature's forgotten lunch? Or something way weirder? The ocean, as always, isn't talking. Number 1. The Undersea River in the Black Sea. If you thought rivers only belonged on land, the Black Sea has some news for you. In 2016, researchers discovered an underwater river flowing along the seabed, complete with rapids, waterfalls, and channels carved deep into the ocean floor. Basically, it's a river inside the sea. To put this into perspective, the current is 350 times stronger than the River Thames and has carved out trenches up to 115 feet deep. This isn't just some slow-moving trickle. It's a full-on aquatic highway carrying more water than some of the world's largest surface rivers. And for anyone familiar with Greek mythology, it's hard not to think of the river Styx, the fabled passageway between the living and the dead. Scientists, of course, have a more grounded explanation: dense, salty water sinking beneath lighter, fresher water. But honestly, if there were an entrance to the underworld, this would be a solid candidate. If you have enjoyed this video, guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.